Have you ever felt like something was watching you in the woods? Something hungry? Imagine this, you're alone in the frigid wilderness. The wind whips through bare trees, carrying a scent that makes your stomach turn. Suddenly, you hear a blood-curdling shriek that's not quite human, not quite animal. You run, heart pounding, as a ghostly figure with glowing eyes and antlers towers above the tree line, its emaciated body moving with impossible speed. Congratulations. You've just encountered the Wendigo, the most nightmare-fueled cryptid to ever haunt North America. Buckle up, creature fans, because we are witnessing the legend that will make Bigfoot look like a cuddly teddy bear. Today we are exploring why the Wendigo is the ultimate creepy cryptid that will have you sleeping with the lights on. But before we unleash this beast, let's break down what we mean by cryptid. Cryptids are creatures of legend that haven't been proven to exist by science. Think about Bigfoot, Nessie, or your dad when it's time to do chores. But among this rogues gallery of mysterious beasts, the Wendigo stands out as the stuff of pure nightmare. Our terrifying tale begins in the snowy forests of North America, where Algonquian-speaking people have whispered warnings about the Wendigo for centuries. This isn't just some campfire story, folks. The Wendigo is deeply rooted in Native American culture, representing the dangers of greed, cannibalism, and the harsh winter wilderness. Now let's get up close and personal with our favorite forest phantom. Buckle up, cryptid fans, because this is where things get really freaky. Picture this, you're lost in the woods, and through the mist, you spot a figure. At first you think, thank goodness, another hiker, but as it gets closer, your relief turns to pure, unadulterated terror. The Wendigo is the ultimate body horror nightmare. We're talking about a creature that would make Slenderman run screaming for his mommy. First off, this beast is tall. And when I say tall, I mean basketball player on stilts tall. We're looking at heights ranging from 10 to 15 feet. Talk about a growth spurt. But here's where it gets really disturbing. A giant creature that's simultaneously massive and shockingly skeletal. The Wendigo is like a skyscraper made of skin and bones, towering in height, yet so thin you'd think it hadn't eaten in centuries. Imagine skin stretched so tight over bones that it's almost translucent. Its body is a roadmap of protruding ribs, visible organs, and joints that look ready to burst through the skin at any moment. It's like someone took a skeleton and wrapped it in pale, ashy leather. Now, let's talk about those eyes. Forget the windows to the soul. These are more like gateways to your worst nightmares. Descriptions vary, but most agree on one thing. They glow. Whether it's a sickly yellow or a fierce red, those eyes radiate an unholy hunger that'll haunt your dreams. And because being a giant, thin monster apparently wasn't enough, Mother Nature decided to add some extra flair. Enter the antlers' massive, twisted racks that would make any deer hunter weep with envy. And let's not forget the teeth. We're not talking about a trip to the orthodontist here. Think rows of sharp yellowed fangs perfect for rending flesh. But don't let its feeble appearance fool you. The Wendigo moves with terrifying speed and agility. It's like a freight train made of bones and bad decisions. Barreling through the forest faster than you can say, I shouldn't have taken that shortcut. Now, on to everyone's favorite dinner topic, the Wendigo's eating habits. Hope you're not snacking, because things are about to get grisly. The Wendigo isn't just a carnivore, it's the ultimate picky eater. Its diet consists of one thing and one thing only, human flesh. But here's the cosmic joke. The more it eats, the hungrier it gets. It's like the universe's cruelest diet plan. With each victim, the Wendigo grows larger, but also more starving. Imagine having a bottomless stomach that's constantly screaming for more Homo sapien hamburgers. No wonder these guys are always in such a bad mood. As if being a giant cannibal wasn't enough, the Wendigo's got another trick up its non-existent sleeve, shapeshifting. That's right, this crafty cryptid can allegedly mimic human voices to lure unsuspecting victims. It's like the world's deadliest game of Marco Polo. But the real mind-bender? The Wendigo isn't just a physical threat, it's a psychological one too. Enter Wendigo psychosis. a controversial condition that'll make you think twice about who you invite to your next dinner party. First described by missionaries and ethnographers in the early 20th century. Wendigo psychosis was reportedly observed among Algonquian-speaking people. The symptoms? An intense craving for human flesh and a fear of becoming a cannibal. It's like the worst case of midnight munchies ever recorded. Some anthropologists suggest that this condition might be linked to extreme cases of starvation in harsh winter conditions. When the food runs out and survival instincts kick in, the human mind can go to some dark places. The Wendigo legend served as a powerful cultural taboo against the ultimate survival sin, cannibalism. Now, modern psychiatry doesn't recognize Wendigo psychosis as a distinct mental disorder, but the concept has left a lasting impact on our understanding of culture-bound syndromes and the power of belief. It's a chilling reminder of how the monsters in our minds can be just as terrifying as any creature lurking in the woods. So there you have it, folks, the Wendigo in all its grotesque glory. A shape-shifting, ever-hungry, psychologically terrifying cryptid that's been keeping campers awake for centuries. Still think Bigfoot is scary? Bigfoot is more likely to steal your picnic basket than your vital organs. All right, it's time for the ultimate monster mashup. Let's see how our bone-chilling buddy stacks up against the heavyweights of the cryptid world. First up, the classic Sasquatch himself, Bigfoot. Sure, he's big, hairy, and elusive, but compared to the Wendigo, Bigfoot's practically a teddy bear, while Bigfoot might raid your campsite for s'mores. The Wendigo's looking at you like you're the s'more. Bigfoot 0, Wendigo 1. Next, let's dive into Loch Ness with everyone's favorite aquatic enigma. Nessie might be able to play hide and seek for centuries, but can she shape shift? Can she induce mind-bending psychosis? I think not. Nessie's just a glorified pool noodle compared to our antlered antagonist, Nessie 0, Wendigo 2. How about Mothman, the winged wonder of West Virginia? Sure, he's got those spooky red eyes and catastrophe-predicting powers. But let's be real, Mothman's more likely to lead you to a bridge collapse than actively try to turn you into lunch. Mothman 0.5, Wendigo still winning at 3. Next, the Chupacabra. Chupacabra might have a taste for blood, but it's strictly a goat gobbling feeder. Our Wendigo, on the other hand, has more refined tastes, namely you. Chupacabra 0, Wendigo 4 and hungry for more. Face it, folks, when it comes to pure, unadulterated terror, the Wendigo leaves other cryptids in the dust. It's not just a monster, it's a psychological nightmare wrapped in a cannibal enigma. Now let's put on our detective hats and dive into some alleged Wendigo sightings. Warning, this stuff isn't for the faint of heart. One of the most famous cases is the story of Swift Runner, a Cree trapper from Alberta, Canada. In 1879, Swift Runner claimed to be possessed by a Wendigo spirit, which allegedly drove him to cannibalize his entire family during a harsh winter. He was ultimately executed for his crimes. But the question remains, was it murder or something more supernatural? Fast forward to 1907 in Minnesota. A group of lumberjacks reported seeing a massive, pale figure with glowing eyes stalking through the forest. When they tried to track it, they found footprints twice the size of a normal man's, which abruptly disappeared as if the creature had vanished into thin air. More recently, in 2019, a group of campers in Kenora, Ontario, claimed to have heard unearthly shrieks in the night, followed by the discovery of large, unidentifiable tracks and strangely mutilated animal carcasses. They also reported an overwhelming sense of dread that forced them to abandon their campsite in the middle of the night. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where's the proof? Where are the crystal clear 4K Ultra HD videos of this supposedly terrifying creature? Well, my skeptical friends, it's time to put on our lab coats and dive into some scientific perspectives. First up, cryptozoologists, those intrepid researchers of hidden animals, suggest that if the Wendigo exists, it could be an undiscovered primate species adapted to extreme cold climates. But let's be real, that's a big if and an even bigger stretch. Psychologists and neuroscientists have a different take. They propose that Wendigo sightings and psychosis could be explained by a combination of factors: extreme stress, isolation, and cultural beliefs, creating a perfect storm of hallucinations and altered mental states. Some researchers point to the effects of starvation on the human mind and body. Severe hunger can lead to altered states of consciousness, aggression, and even hallucinations. In extreme cases, the body quite literally begins to consume itself, a horrifying parallel to the Wendigo myth. Cultural anthropologists offer yet another perspective. They suggest that the Wendigo legend served as a powerful moral lesson against greed and cannibalism in cultures where such taboos were critical for survival. It's essentially a scary story with a very important message. Don't eat your friends, even if you're really, really hungry. But here's where we need to pump the brakes and get real for a second. The Wendigo isn't just some cool monster for us to turn into Halloween costumes. It's a significant part of Native American culture and beliefs. Many indigenous people consider the commercial use of the Wendigo disrespectful. It's not just about the creature itself, but about the important lessons and warnings wrapped up in the legend. So while we're having fun with our cryptid countdown, let's remember to respect the cultural origins of these stories. From its roots in Algonquian folklore to its starring roles in modern horror, the Wendigo proves that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones that make us look at our own dark side. It's not just about what's lurking in the woods, it's about what's lurking inside us. And there you have it, folks, the Wendigo, a shape-shifting, cannibalistic, mind-bending cryptid that's been freaking out people for centuries. It's got the looks, the lore, and the cultural impact to make it the undisputed champion of the cryptid world. So, what do you think? Is the Wendigo the freakiest cryptid out there, or do you have another nightmare fuel nominee? Smash that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more creepy cryptid content. Remember, the next time you're in the woods and hear a strange noise, it's probably just the wind. But if you suddenly feel an urge to snack on your hiking buddies, maybe it's time to head home. Stay curious, stay respectful, and stay away from anything with glowing eyes and antlers.